Hi everyone, this is Diane. I've been busy for a couple of weeks using up some of my papers that I have, and some of them were given to me by a friend who decided she didn't have time to do the paper crafts anymore. She has a lot of other crafts she does, so she had given me some of her supplies, and I just thought I needed to work through some of it. So I've been making some books, and I'd like to show some of them to you now. This is one of them, and this is from one of the not this, but the papers inside were from the papers, some of the papers that my friend gave me. And it was this one, the K & Company Julianne paper. It's very pretty. It's double-sided, but it's not the heavy cardstock paper. It's a little thinner, but it's very nice paper. It wasn't something that I would have selected and purchased myself, but I enjoyed working with it, and it came with sheets of stickers and punch-outs that I used throughout the book, so that made putting the book together very easy. I used, one of the punch-outs was this large piece, and I had to trim off the ends to fit it on here, and some of the stickers from the sticker sheet I used to spell out my life. And then inside, I had made this envelope a while ago, and I thought it looked good in there, so that's one of the punch-outs too. I put this envelope on there and just put some journaling cards inside the envelope at the beginning of the book. And then this was one of the punch-outs, very smash book looking. It says howdy. So pretty much most of the papers are from that collection, and there are a few other K & Company. This is from a different K & Company, one of the heavier papers. I glued 3 of the punch-outs down as a little pocket here, and there's another punch-out that had a journaling spot. Some punch-outs I glued up there to decorate, and then I made a pocket. This is not even a K & Company paper. I think it's die cuts with a view. And I put some tags in there, made a pocket out of leftover piece of that. And then I used some stamps. It says always face the sun, look up, and I have this bird stamp. It's a Stampin' Up! Stamp, and I thought it went really well with this bird paper from K & Company that's facing it. These are punch-outs, and one of the sheets had strips of matching designs, so I used those also. This paper is actually from, oh, I forgot the name of it. It's got butterflies and keys and world maps, and I've seen a lot of mini albums made with this paper. This one I used a stamp set. It has little cameras, and it says real life up there. This is one of the punch-outs from the collection. It says memories and has journaling lines, and I glued it on as a pocket and included some smash pad pages. This is a punch-out from the collection. It says favorite memories. This is really pretty paper. This is a punch-out that I glued onto the pocket that I made here. Included a journaling card. Here's a sticker that I had. It says, nothing good was ever achieved without enthusiasm. It's a quote from Emerson. Here's another one of the punch-outs. It says, one of a kind. So you'll probably see various K & Company papers you might recognize that weren't from that collection, like this one and this one. This was a nice punch-out from that collection that has a nice journaling part on it. And this page was white on the back, so I used some stamps. I believe these are all Stampin' Up! Stamps. Laughter is the shortest distance between two people, Victor Borga. And a friend accepts us as we are, yet helps us to be what we should. This is just a tag. I happen to have the little tag pad that seems to match this paper. I don't know if it was made to go with it, but it matches it very well. And I'd stamped on it simplicity, order, calm, and clarity. It soothes the soul and reaches for elegance. And since this was white on the back, I just glued a thin piece of paper on there and used some of the strips to decorate it. Again, I used 3 of the flower punch outs to make a little pocket. This is a little journaling spot that I had made. I cut some circles out with my Cricut, pink cardstock, and lined notebook paper, stamped on it in a stamped special moment, and added a little ribbon in between those 2 layers. There's another piece from the journaling pad that matches this paper. These are all punch outs from the paper. This is a sheet from a different pad of K & Company. I put a pink paper clip on that. Oh, I skipped this page. This one has some strips glued on, little journaling spot and a flower, pink paper clip. And then this one I made a pocket and a couple of things I'd printed from the internet and decorated them with some scraps of the paper, put another paper clip on that. It was white on the back, so I used washi tape and then this stamp. The journaling spot, it says My Life. And again, on this one, I stamped Event Record here. I think that was an Autumn Leaves stamp set that I have. I really like that stamp set. And then stamped the Stampin' Up! Border on there. This was a nice striped paper, and I used one of their strips from the collection and another punch out from the collection. That's a punch out. And then I had this sticker left over from something. It says Trust Your Heart. This is an envelope that I had made, and I glued it to the back, and then I put a bunch of leftover pieces and journaling spots that can be used in the book and added another paper clip. So there's that one. That's what the back looks like. And the next one I made was using leftover pieces from the DCWV Sunday afternoon paper, which was so much fun to use. I had made a mini album with it. I believe I put a video on of that mini album using Kathy Orta's Build-A-Page technique. And I had leftover pages, so I made a book out of it. And it's an book that I took apart, and I liked the cover. It's just a plain cover, and so I just put this strip of paper on it to cover up the raw edges where I had taken the book apart, but then I left the book plain. I didn't cover it with paper, I mean. And then on the front, I used a bunch of cutouts, mostly from the Sunday afternoon paper. This is from something else. And then inside, there's a tag that they can write their name and whatever information they want there. Now, I had to be creative in this book because the DCWV paper is white on one side, and so I wanted to be creative and make them look pretty, but not put, spend too much time on it. So I did different things, and you'll see throughout the book. This page, I used some washi tape, cut it into fishtail banners, and then glued that little saying up there that says happy. On this, and here's one of the white sides, and I made a pocket out of the crossword puzzle page from that collection, and more washi tape. And I put an envelope in there with some leftover pieces that can be used in the book, and a journaling tag. It says enjoy the journey. This page was cut smaller, and it has some washi tape and one of the smash washi tape that has a place for a date. And this has some space for journaling. This is just the way the paper was. I didn't do anything to it. Here's a page from another collection, which was also white, but I put that little journaling spot up there. And then on these 2 white pages, I put on these 6x6 pieces of paper that I had, and I rounded the corners, and then decorated with some leftover strips of paper and a little bit of a punch out there that can be used for writing a date or something. That's a leftover Melody Ross paper that I had. Made a pocket here, Put a couple of tags in there. This is actually a cutout from this collection. And then I used stamps and stamped the word grin and some really cute flowers. This is from a different collection, but also DCWV, or else Recollections. I have a book that's called If. I got it, I think I picked it up free or for 50 cents at the library. And it has just questions to answer. So I cut out a couple of the pages of that. For example, if you could occupy the world described in a novel, which would you choose? Interesting question. If you were asked to put in a new breakfast cereal box, if you were asked what to put in a new breakfast cereal box as a gimmick, what would you pick? So there's several questions on each page. Backed it with some paper and some leftover strips of paper. This one I just did some big shot cuts there. And this is from the Sunday afternoon paper. Had a 6x6 ledger page there, so I just glued it there and then decorated with washi tape. Here's a white page that I stamped on what I love about my life and place to write. There's another stamp that came with this set, official listing, and then washi tape and Tim Holtz film strip. Here's a piece from this paper pad, and I just edge punched it and glued a journaling spot on that side. This one I did really simply. I had printed these from the internet, the story and the beauty of the moment, so I just glued those journaling spots on. Of course, this is from the Recollections, my favorite things. Some more stamping on these white pages. Do what you love what you do. Just glued this journaling card on there. These were 2 white pages, and I glued just a bunch of little leftover things. There's a journaling spot here, a little journaling spot here. And this was something I made with the Cricut, and it's made on this craft paper, and I used a piece of scrapbooking paper that looks like yellow tablet to put there, and then I used silver stickles on the clip part. So more journaling. Another pocket here. I took the leftover crossword puzzle paper and just cut some cards, rounded the corners, and stamped real life, details, and this moment. Again, another pocket with some cards I printed from the internet. He said, she said, and then this one that I backed with leftover paper from the collection that's got journaling lines, 5 of my favorite things. This one one of the sheets of paper has all these words on it, so I took one of the scraps and cut those words out. Made this pocket, excuse me, from the collection, and then some leftover pieces I just rounded the corners, and they can be journaling cards. Dreams come true. This paper was so much fun to use. Some more white paper that I stamped photo record, and then corners and a camera. This domino paper, with the foil on, it's hard to glue things, and I thought whoever gets this book might not have the appropriate adhesive, so I try to either make pockets on or cover the pages that have glitter and foil. So I put a couple journaling spots there. More journaling spots with washi tape. And then on the last page, I glued a popcorn bag, made a tag long enough to put in there, stamped a journaling spot, and used leftover scraps and a stamp. And then little paper bags, I just glued on a couple of the little cutouts that came with the collection, and they're just plain white cards. I punched a circle punch and folded it in half for all of the tabs on those. And that's the end of that book. And I'll be back with a video for another book that I made.